Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode on the channel. Today we got two races coming at you, one less than usual, but here at the Brickyard at Indianapolis, as well as we will be racing at Kentucky for a mile and a half here. But we get right into the action here in Indianapolis, a track where I've always had some significant speed at from the NASCAR Heat 4 career mode, so I was pretty confident coming into this one here in the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode now as the green flag is underway. You see our qualifying effort, P11, so we qualified better than what we have been throughout the season. On the usual, we've been probably like 15th, 16th, somewhere in there. So here we are up in P11, so my confidence was already definitely boosted coming into this race now as we are right behind our teammate of Riley Herbst, and we got Harrison Burton here on our right side as we dive down into turns 2 on this first and opening lap. I do not actually have the replay cameras because I screwed that up a bit now, so that's a bit unfortunate, but now as we dive down this back straightaway, we run P8 here behind Herbst as we go down into turns 3, and then I overshoot turns 3. That allows the door to be open for our teammate of Harrison Burton. He slides up the inside and he would get past me, and I was actually noticing right off the bat Burton had a lot of speed in that number 20 car now as we're out of turns 4 side by side with the 18 of Herbst now as we're going to go side draft him just a tiny bit there now as we do leave him a good chunk of room as we come down crossing the line P8 at the end of lap 1, as well as we go up the inside of Ross Chastain trying to get up into P7 now as we come through turns 1. Burton, though, moving his way through the field now is Noah Gragson on the outside there in P6, drifts back a little bit. Ryan Sieg, the first car up on the outside lane there, was actually Chastain got into the wall behind us there, as I don't know if I put him into the wall, but it looked like he actually hit it before we came together. Now as we pass Gragson, I would stay in behind Burton. He would move his way up into second place as we came through to start the final lap now of stage 1, lap 3 of 3, heading down into turns 2, trying to get up into P4, passing Justin Haley now as we exit turns 2. A little bit of contact there with the 11 now as we go down this backstretch. Harrison Burton going for the lead down the back straightaway, so pretty evident that our teammate of Harrison Burton has a lot of speed here today in the Brickyard as they dive down into turn 3, and Burton would be able to hang on to that front position as we would run down Austin Cindric now on the front straightaway, and surprisingly we would actually be able to beat him to the line, so it would be P3 here in stage 1 just behind the 98 of Chase Briscoe for Stewart Haas Racing. So a very good first stage for us now, as this will set us up great for stage 2 as we've won a bunch of races so far this season in our rookie season, so things are looking really good. Very confident we're going to get a very good cup ride next season. It very well could be for Joe Gibbs Racing. Now is going to be looking for an announcement coming up soon, maybe here on the career mode, to see what's going to be going on with the future for us in the Cup Series. But now we will get ready to go green for the start of stage 2. We definitely have the speed to get past the 98 of Chase Briscoe, so then hopefully we can get past him very quickly on this restart now as stage 2 is underway. Only 2 laps here in stage 2, so very little time to get anything done now. Obviously Indianapolis, so a very long track, and immediately through turns 1 we are clear for second place over Briscoe. He's side by side with the 39 of Ryan Sieg now to come through out of turns 2, heading down this back straightaway using the draft from our teammate of Harrison Burton. I was wondering, do I make a move right here or maybe do I wait to the final lap? Well, I decided we're going to push him down the back straightaway and try to set him up here on the final lap of stage 2, and sure enough now as we go down into turn 3 on the final lap of stage 2, I actually did not get close enough to Harrison to make a move, and then unfortunately in turns 3 I made a bit of a mistake now as we came through out of turns 4, but we do get through there pretty well, but we're still not close enough now as I screw up the exit of the corner as well, and it's going to be Harrison though coming through to win stage 2 like he did stage 1, but so far it's down clearly between myself and Harrison Burton for the win of this race, and we got one final stage to decide who is going to be victorious here in Indianapolis. Justin Allgaier would round out the top 10. Noah Gragson up there in P9. Ryan Sieg, though, P3. And unfortunately for us, we're going to be restarting on the outside lane here on the front row with Harrison. Now it's really the Harrison and Owen show so far in this race. Now as the green flag is out and the third and final stage is underway. 6 laps is all it is here in stage 3, so not a whole lot of time to do much now, but hopefully we can come out of here with the race victory for like the 6th time or something like that this season. It would be now as we exit turns 1 side by side with Burton down into turns 2. He clears us as I kind of expected. Now we're side by side with Ryan Sieg. The goal is to get back in front of Sieg as quickly as possible. Sure enough, with the draft from Harrison who pulled up in front of me, we clear Sieg down the backstretch, and obviously I could maybe make a move up the inside of Harrison right there, but I decided I wanted to push him out in front and make sure we could be away from the guys behind us before we make a move and get battling. So now on lap 13 we had driven away a little bit here as we came down the back straightaway, so I'm going to actually give him nearly a push down into turn 3. I actually did not get into the back though of Harrison now as I briefly touched the apron there just a tiny bit. Now has come through down into turns 4, running in that second position, but knowing that we have the car that could potentially win this race now as we go down the front stretch. Now at this point I was looking at potentially making a move on Burton, coming to just 4 laps to go. I dive up the inside here as we dive down towards the turns 1. We have a good gap over third, but I actually get outbraked into turns 1, and Harrison would hold on to the lead. But now as we came through out of turns 4, approaching just 3 laps to go here in Indianapolis, we're putting once again the pressure on Harrison Burton here as we go down this front straightaway. Looking to make a move here as we go down towards turns 1. Once again, we're going to send it up the inside. 3 laps to go in the Brickyard, but this time we brake a little bit later, knowing that I made a mistake last time, and we're going to be very close there, nearly getting into his left rear on the exit of turns 1, but it did not work. But down the backstretch, we stuck with him, and once again, we send it up the inside a lot closer this time, a little bit of a side draft as well, and then I pull away to make sure he can't do the same back as we dive down into turns 3, but he's just able to make that second lane work so much better now as he stays clear once again out of turns 3. So very unfortunate now as we dive down into turns 4. We build up yet another run on the back of Burton. So now knowing we're right there, we got to make a move, but no. The caution comes out as we're approaching just 2 laps to go, and that is going to force NASCAR overtime here in the Brickyard. It looks like it's Anthony Alfredo that brought out the caution. So now just 2 laps will decide who's going to win between myself and Harrison Burton. We've been battling for the lead most of this race, and now the overtime underway here in the Brickyard. We get a very good launch here compared to Harrison Burton, and we might be in the prime position to win this race as we dive down into turns 1. If we could somehow clear Harrison on the exit of turns 1, we'd be in peak position, but unfortunately it's not going to work out like the fairy tale we were hoping for, and we dive down into turns 2 and not get through the corner very well at all. Sieg up by inside, we're halfway at his door, but we use the draft once again like we did on the last restart from Harrison Burton to pull myself back in front of Sieg. So now we would have to run down Harrison once again here, approaching now the final lap in Indianapolis. We're right on the back of Burton. I decided we're going to wait for the final few corners, or to the back straightaway at least, to make a move on Burton here as we come through turns 1 and now heading down towards turns 2, about maybe 2 car lengths between myself and Harrison as we dive down into the corner now, knowing that we have a gap on third place to where we can be aggressive enough on Harrison to where we can both battle it out pretty hard and still have should be able to come back to the line 1-2. But now we get that draft going down towards turns 3. We're gonna send it up the inside. I know we need to be aggressive. I full send it into turns 3. We go way too deep. Burton slides up the inside. He's going to take the lead back now as we exit turn 3. We might have just given away this race as we dive down into turns 4. We get a great run though through the center of the corner. We're going to get the exit, and now we get to his right rear. We're going to side draft him really hard down the front straightaway, coming to the line, nearly putting him all the way to the inside. While we pull back to the right, we win in Indianapolis. Maybe half a car length between myself and Burton with an epic finish here in the Brickyard. Probably so far in the NASCAR Heat 5 career mode, the best finish yet now. So very aggressive I was going down into turns 3. I full sent it, and obviously didn't work out in my favor, but we were able to fight back on the exit of turns 4 and actually pick up the victory. But there you see, I actually was just kind of like wowed about that finish, that I just kind of took a breather there and then completely forgot about the burnout, and then I didn't get any replay cameras because of that either. But we pick up the victory, and now 6 wins in our rookie season here in the Xfinity Series. I mean, I just cannot believe how well it's going compared to the past. NASCAR Heat games where we've gone into trucks in Xfinity and we haven't done nearly as good in terms of getting wins. So one heck of a career mode already that we're having. But we jump into the second race of the episode. We have to keep in mind that we still got a season to worry about here, a regular season to worry about. Obviously, we have nothing to worry about. We're easily locked into the playoffs. 6 wins now on the season with that Brickyard win. But we are here now at Kentucky Motor Speedway, or Kentucky Speedway, whatever it is now, as we come through turns 1 and 2 behind, once again, our teammate of Riley Herbst. Riley Herbst, so far the only rookie on this team that has yet to get a victory. So myself, obviously with a bunch. Harrison Burton has a win, or we're still waiting on Herbst to get the victory. He is, though, in the playoffs, on points at least, but that can definitely change as there's still enough races in the regular season for things to go wrong for Riley Herbst now as we come through completing this first and opening lap. Didn't have the greatest car, I felt like, in stage 1 now, as we were only up to P13 on the final lap of this first stage, sending it up the inside, though, of Ross Chastain and on the outside of Jeffrey Earnhardt, but we slide in behind the 0 of Earnhardt, and it was Harrison Burton actually leading the stage here, trying to get some redemption after the last time out in Indianapolis when we kind of stole the victory away from him now as he led everything. Obviously, it was a battle between myself and Harrison the whole time. Now, as we come through out of turns 4, we're actually going to go get up into the top 10. Burton wins stage 1. We cross the line in P10 here in the first stage. But I noticed towards the end of stage 1 that I actually thought, you know what, we might have a little bit more speed in this car than I had originally thought we had. So my confidence was a little bit boosted there within the final lap or so now, as the first few laps weren't looking very good for us now, but here we are restarting on the outside in P10 for the start of the second stage, which is now underway here in Kentucky Speedway now as we try to get past Anthony Alfredo. Got to be careful around a driver like Alfredo right now and trying to get into the playoffs on points as we dive down into turns 1. Noah Gragson up there in the mix as well. Jeffrey Earnhardt just behind myself, and on my inside we got the 36 of Alex LeBay. We're going to have to watch out for LeBay at some upcoming tracks like Road America as well as Watkins Glen. He's another driver that could definitely get a win there now as we come through turns 3. I think LeBay already does have a win though this season, if I'm not mistaken, now as we come through out of turns 4, going up all the way around the outside, going 3 wide there with Alfredo and LeBay, and we would take over P10 once again is where we were running, but we would climb up now to P8, approaching just 2 to go in the stage. Chase Briscoe was now leading the way over second place of Harrison Burton as I dive up the inside of Gregson, and we climb up into P6 with 2 to go here in stage 2. So definitely looking strong as we dive down into the corner now to the outside of Ray Black Jr. A little bit of contact there with him, and that cost me a good chunk of momentum here as we went down the backstretch. Gregson was actually able to get back up my inside and stay there on the final lap now of stage 2, but I send it through turns 3 and turns 4. Burton would retake the lead from Briscoe, so Harrison Burton would win stage 1 and go back-to-back with a stage 2 victory as we cross the line in P5 here for the second stage. But definitely realizing that we have a car that maybe is capable of competing for a win. So I was thinking maybe somehow we could go and get win number 7 on the season here if we can have everything go smoothly, but definitely going to be a bit of a challenge now as we are underway for the third and final stage here in Kentucky Speedway on the back of Jeremy Clements. Now 13 laps to go here in Kentucky. Burton, Briscoe on the front row. Briscoe, such a fast driver in real life and in this game, but in the game at least, Briscoe has not had the wins to show for how fast he has been now as we go down this backstretch side by side with the SHR driver. We would clear him now as we came through on lap 17, going on the outside of the 51 of Jeremy Clements as we come through turns 1 and 2, but there was contact there with Clements, and on the exit of the corner we push up and into the outside wall we go, and that completely destroys the ground we just gained. Briscoe nearly getting a piece of it. He slowed up big time as we dive down into turn 3 as I try to get back past him and rally my way back as you see me looking at the right side of the car, seeing if there was anything wrong. It didn't look too bad, so I was pretty happy with that, but we would get past Austin Cindric through turns 1 and 2, past him now with 11 laps to go in the race. Then we would run down Clements and get past him as well. Briscoe, he was also moving his way back forwards. He was arguably faster than Harrison Burton. He would pass the net, then I would come through as well to pass Michael Annette now on lap 20. Just 9 laps to go as we exited turns 2 So trying to run down Briscoe and Burton, and we would do just that. Briscoe, though, would make the pass on Harrison Burton for the lead here on lap 25 of 28 as I go up the inside of Burton, and then I make a bit of a mistake there on the exit of turn 2, slide up, hit the outside wall again, but this time it's going to be too little, too late, because now we came to the final lap, and I was still running down the drivers in front of me, but it was 2 mistakes. I made a mistake, got loose, hit Michael Annett, hit the wall, and then right there you saw it again. I made another mistake, hit the outside wall. I think we could have won this race without any mistakes, but fortunately, at least we're still going to hang on to a P3 finish as we dive down into turns 3 for the final time. But I was just mentioning how Chase Briscoe doesn't quite have the wins to show for the speed he's had in the career mode, but he's going to change that here with another win in Kentucky. Burton second again, like Indianapolis to myself, as we come through across the line in the 3rd position. Austin Cindric down there in that 10th spot. Riley Herbst, our teammate as well, up there in P9, so a very solid finish for Riley now as you see the rest of the order on your screen. But definitely could have went back-to-back in this episode if we would have just been a little safer maybe through the corners now in the final laps. But that will do it, though, for this episode of the Heat 5 Career Mode. In the next one, hopefully, we'll have 3 races again. So I'll thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.